2008, earlier than that, no, nagkakaroon na tayo ng mga
Festivals.
regional films,
Yes,
pinapalabas.
so-
Alam mo, sa Cebu, meron ang gumagawa. Tapos sa Bacolod, yung grupo ni Peke Galiaga
Correct.
sa University of St. Lasal, meron na silang mga output. No?
Pero at the same time, even before that, di ba, meron mga Visayan films.
Oh, yes.
And it was there already.
In the 1950s and 60s up to the 70s, there used to be a Visayan movie industry.
Correct.
Oh, and I think in those 3 to 4 decades, they produced almost 200 titles. Yan na naman
Saan
ang problema.
mga nagpunta yan?
Ayun, yung iba, yung karamihan, kasi ang market nila nasa Visayas at
Visayas
Mindanao
also,
lang,
yes.
no, kung saan maraming nagsasalita ng no, yan ang lengguwahe nila, no, yung Bisaya. At bihira lang pinapalabas dito sa Maynila, no, paminsan-minsan. Kaya yung mga kopya nandiyan nakatago diyan sa Visayas, sa Cebu. O nung pinunta ako sa mga ilang film companies, talagang wala na yung kumpanya, tapos wala na ring films. I mean, it's the same problem as in Manila, walang archives. Alam ko, nung 80s, nung hinahanap ko yung mga pelikula, walang pinag-usapan na, heritage ito, no? Cultural preservation. The word heritage did not exist. Pero film is now so important. It's
Very
really,
important. Right.
lahat ng bansa talaga may film industry, and film is now considered, a very important art form, no? Kaya yan na, no, napaka-importante ang makaroon tayo ng sense ng film history natin. At paano ba tayo makakaroon ng film history kung wala tayong films, di ba?
Kung may superpower ka, what would it be?
To recover all the lost films.
But before we go into that, here's a fun fact. In Cagayan de Oro, there was a film, Sa Imong Lawas ug Dugo, that was actually directed and written by Lorenzo M. de la Serna and produced by the XCC's Ruben Canoy.
Yeah, I know that film.
And Commander Dimas, it's from Mr. Quezon in the early 90s in RMN-TV also. And of course, the first one that was shot, the first full-length film that was shot in Cagayan de Oro in recent times is Marcado from Joe Batos. So those are just fun facts. Yung kay De La Serna naman, it was produced by Ruben Canoy and it was shot in Cebu. Although the filmmakers from Cagayan de Oro together with Mr. Quezon.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for that, Sean. But I'd like to point out, that some of these films, especially like Sa Dulo ng Tris, which was shot in Cagayan de Oro, produced by Ruben Canoy and directed by Cesar Amigo in the 70s. The problem with some of these films that have been produced by the mainstream companies is because the aesthetics were still very, very much, shall we say, standard Tagalog.
Yeah.
The Tagalog cinema, it's because the production money emanated from Manila. For example, you would have an entire cast is supposed to be set in Mindanao, but why is everybody speaking in Tagalog? Not in Chabacano, not in Tausog, not in Visaya. So it doesn't reflect this film didn't reflect the real culture and language of Mindanao. And of course, a very recent example is, I'm sure.
Mindanao.
Yeah. I would just like to say, in the years of helping curate and films from Mindanao, for Cinema Rehiyon, I've seen so many films, some good, some bad, some not worth it, a few masterpieces. It's such a rich and diversified and exciting culture, that you can see in this film. I'm not from Mindanao, I'm from Manila, so it's a way, it's a window into the world of Mindanao, by watching Mindanaoan cinema. and made by Mindanao filmmakers. And this has gone a long way from what used to be our notion of what Mindanao cinema is, especially in the old days, no, that like films like Bajau, like that, and they had to be made in Manila and by Tagalog filmmakers, and this kind of films actually were good during their time, but they did not reflect the real Mindanaoan culture. But it is, as I said, it is happening now. The Mindanao filmmakers have their voices now. You have your own festivals, and I think this is great. This is exciting, and then together with the films coming from the other island regions as well from Metro, as from the NCR, this is now what is going to constitute the real national cinema.